What is Montessori? Where did it come from? What does it mean? Why is everyone talking about it? What opportunities in education can it open for you? Real quick, my name is Allison Potter, and I'm a registered early childhood educator, a Montessori infant toddler guide, and a faculty member at Montessori Teachers College. I am here to introduce you to Dr. Maria Montessori, who she was and why her discoveries were so important. We will also look at what sets the Montessori approach apart from other educational models, and we will explore the key features of a Montessori classroom and how it works across all ages and grade levels. We'll unpack some common myths and misconceptions, and then we'll take a closer look at what you can do with this new information. Whether you are interested in becoming a Montessori educator or exploring other resources and possibilities for your own children. Montessori education is practiced in over 140 countries and more than 20,000 schools worldwide. There are Montessori programs for infants, children, teens, and even adults in elder care. Many families bring a Montessori-inspired approach to their own homes, and elements of Montessori have also influenced more mainstream education, especially around child-led and hands-on learning. But we can't talk about Montessori education without first talking about the woman who started it all. Dr. Maria Montessori was a true trailblazer. Born in 1870, she was an Italian doctor, educator, and scientist, and was one of the first women in Italy to earn a medical degree. Early in her career, she worked with children in a mental health hospital who had learning disabilities and were labeled unteachable. She did not accept this label for these children and instead approached her work as she did in her medical training. She observed the children through a scientific lens. From these observations, Dr. Montessori developed a revolutionary approach to education, focused on independence, freedom within limits, and a deep respect for each child's natural development. We'll talk more about that later. The results spoke for themselves. Her methods quickly gained the attention of educators, medical professionals, and policymakers. Soon, Montessori schools and teacher training programs began popping up all over the world. What Dr. Montessori discovered was powerful. Children respond best to hands-on, self-directed learning experiences. In other words, children thrive when they're allowed to explore, move, and be involved in daily tasks and activities in a meaningful way. This was groundbreaking at the time, when a lecture-based approach to education was the norm. In other words, children thrive when they're allowed to explore, move, and be involved in daily tasks and activities in a meaningful way. This was groundbreaking at the time, when a lecture-based approach to education was the norm. Montessori education is more than a method. It's a philosophy centered around 4 core principles: a deep respect for the child, offering the child age-appropriate freedom within reasonable limits, supporting the child's need for independence, and supporting each child's whole development at every age and stage of life. What this means is that Montessori education isn't only about academics. It's about developing the whole child, intellectually, emotionally, socially, and physically. This holistic approach includes an emphasis on practical life skills like caring for yourself, others, and your environment. It also highlights social emotional learning like conflict resolution, grace and courtesy, and creative expression through art, music, and movement. Academically, the Montessori approach puts an intentional focus on interdisciplinary learning that connects different subjects in meaningful ways. The goal is to support children in becoming thoughtful, adaptable, and compassionate individuals, not just as students, but as citizens of the world. From child-sized furniture to self-correcting materials, everything in a Montessori environment encourages children to do things for themselves. As they succeed in caring for themselves, solving problems, and navigating their day-to-day world, they grow in confidence and capability. This is the core principle of independence in action. Montessori classrooms offer freedom, but that does not mean chaos. This is the core principle of freedom within limits. Within carefully prepared environments and clear boundaries set by their teachers, children in a Montessori classroom are free to choose their own activities. This balance of child-led learning with careful guidance promotes a sense of responsibility, self-discipline, and internal motivation for each child. Adults act as guides, helping children to make constructive and appropriate choices. And finally, the 4th principle, an utmost respect for the child. We view children with the same dignity and respect as adults. This is at the heart of the Montessori approach. Rather than seeing the child as an empty vessel to be filled, Montessori educators see children as naturally capable and curious. The goal here is to foster confidence, resilience, and a strong sense of self in each child. We do this by observing the child's needs, trusting their process, and allowing them to take the lead in their learning journey while providing thoughtful guidance along the way. These four core principles, educating the whole child, independence, freedom within limits, and respect, form the foundation of Montessori education. These core principles shape the way a Montessori classroom works. By emphasizing hands-on learning, children aren't just memorizing facts, they're building deep understanding through concrete experiences. Children are respected and trusted to be able to move through the curriculum at their own pace. Children are encouraged to be independent by choosing their own work, caring for their environment, and managing their own time. Dr. Montessori used the phrase prepared environment to describe a space that is carefully designed to support how children naturally learn through independence, exploration, and collaboration. But not all environments are the same. A classroom for toddlers, for example, looks very different from a classroom for elementary students. That's because each age group has its own developmental needs, and the environment should reflect that. Dr. Montessori identified four major stages of growth to help identify said developmental needs, which she called the planes of development. Each plane spans roughly 6 years, starting at birth, and represents a profound shift in how a child thinks, learns, and experiences the world at each stage. Understanding these stages helps educators create environments that meet the specific needs of the child at every point in their journey, and to more intentionally apply the four core principles we discussed earlier at every age and stage. Tailoring not only the classroom environment, but the entire educational experience to meet the child in the developmental stage they are currently in. At its heart, the prepared environment is a place where everything has a purpose. It's intentional, functional, and peaceful, and it's built to support key skills like focus, coordination, independence, and a sense of order. But creating the right space is only part of the picture. To truly support the child, we must also prepare ourselves. Dr. Montessori believed that the adult's role is not to control or direct, but to observe, guide, and respect the child's natural drive to learn. Montessori educators don't lecture or take over. They step in only when needed, offering just enough support so that the child can build confidence and develop problem-solving skills on their own. Through careful observation, we learn what a child is ready for, what excites them, what challenges them, and when they need help or space. These insights guide us in introducing new lessons, stepping in at the right moment, or stepping back to let learning unfold naturally. When we make an effort to intentionally prepare the environment and prepare ourselves, we are sending a powerful message to every child. You are respected, you are capable, and you matter.